To a proposal that has been made publicly, and a lot of folks think that we should abandon the commissioner setup that we've had for 100 years and establish a Citizens Conservation Commission, much like South Dakota, Iowa, other states have, where the Citizens Commission is in charge of hiring and firing DNR administrators and not appointed by excuse the term, politicians such as governors.
Well, politicians and governors are elected to carry out certain responsibilities, but it's obvious all of us read Dennis's column. Dennis, that's good. You're getting the word out, and brought up, I think, a valid point. I tend to side on the side that citizens know best. I tend to side on, if you ask me, the biggest problem with Congress, two things: partisan redistricting and campaign finance reform. I fall on the thing that governors and legislators should not do our congressional districts because they have a vested interest to be political in it. So I think your point on this, Dennis, is, and I haven't spent a lot of time talking to folks and getting all the feedback in it, my first inclination is yes, I think that makes sense as the way to do that, if it can be set up and make the case. I don't need to hold all those levers, and I don't think you should want a governor to, but I also don't want to fully commit on this, because one of the things is we put ourselves in front of the voters to make these decisions. They have the capacity then to fire us in an election too, and I get a little worried sometimes if we put government on autopilot without the correct things in place. This proposal seems to me that we could put those things in place, we could safeguard that, we could give the power back to what I'm talking about as we pick the commissioner, because it sounds an awful lot more like what I was describing. We would all have a seat at the table in that commission and they would pick. So certainly open to it. I think it's a good suggestion, and philosophically I tend to lean that way.
I love the idea, and I think it fits when I talk about having a commissioner that is depoliticized and that understands that they are there to serve and are willing to change the culture. I think this would be one good step in that direction, because it would give that commissioner probably more credibility with citizens than a governor-appointed commissioner. And it also fits with what I have been talking about for some time with respect to management of our deer herd and management of our fisheries around this state. Some other states have done this as well, where they have regional deer management or fishery management teams. I know we have them in Minnesota, but the belief is nobody really listens to them. In Wisconsin, at least, I believe the requirement is that the DNR actually takes their recommendations unless the DNR can prove that they are scientifically unsound. That is giving power to people and to sportsmen and women, and I like that concept. That's where we need to move as government.